Don't say something.
I think,
Don't say something I'm gonna regret later.
no, I'm just saying that in the sequel, when we do the sequel,
Yeah.
we have to have a rule called the slingshot rule. We just have to. We just have to have that. And because success is not always that steady movement. Sometimes it's stress, 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 and bang.
Yeah, yeah. I think the sad part about that whole thing is that's accurate, and the second part about that is that I didn't see that coming. Like I didn't see that happening. I was just along for the ride. So that's
Yeah, it happens sometimes. You just
what are you gonna
have to kind
say?
of you have to be flexible. That being flexible is very
Well,
important.
I have found out that I am too. That is
Well, that's good. Well, that's really good because sometimes as we get older, we become very inflexible. We don't, we're not going to bend. We're not going to change our ways. So it's really good to know that you're flexible. That's a good thing. So. Hello, everybody. You're here. Glad to see you. Welcome to the
oh,
Thursday
there's
night live
Janelle.
show. I finally made
Janelle.
Lisa blush over something, and nobody knows what it was.
Oh, I'm sure they can imagine. Yes, we got Janelle and Teresa and Penny and June and Peg.
Hi,
Yay!
everybody.
They
I
said,
have
"What did we miss? Green room, green room."
green room, green room.
Oh, the squirrels have let you go. No, the squirrels are right here.
Ah, the squirrels are holding me hostage. I'm telling you, they're holding me hostage. Somebody said, "Hi, Lisa and Jeff, and put a squirrel." You people love me so much. You taunt me. You taunt me with your squirrels. You taunt me.
Well, for those of you, I put it up a couple times already, but that when we were first doing the show and you had that little rant about the squirrel thing, I'm like, that was hilarious because it's like, what the hell is he talking about?
But that squirrel got up on the knot on the side of the tree and looked at me and went, "Ah, ah." It sounded like a little dog.
You know what this reminds me of is like my let's see, my grandmother, my mother's mother, if you mentioned anything about my father, I thought his first name was that because when I was growing up, my grandmother called him that Witten. And I thought his name was that. All you had to do is mention him and she'd go on a rant and rave like you do about the squirrel.
Hey, don't feel bad. Up until I was 5 years old, I thought my middle name was Damn It. Jeffrey, damn it. Do this. Jeffrey, damn it. Stop that. I
Oh.
went to the first grade and the teacher said, "What's your name?" I said, "My name is Jeffrey, damn it, West."
What's the C?
It's
Clyde.
Carl. My,
Carl.
my, my father's name was Carl, so it's Jeffrey Carl.
Oh, I didn't even think of Carl. I thought Clyde or something. I didn't. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know mine, the
Clyde's
M.
probably the generation before me, but that's all right.
You know, mine's easy. Everybody's got the same name. Mine, M. Watch you not get it. Oh, God, you're not going to get it. Elvis named his daughter after me.
Marie. Lisa
Yes, it's
Marie.
me. That's
Okay.
correct.
Very cool. I didn't
When
realize
I
how
say
famous
that,
you
yeah,
were.
does it? But yeah, you probably had the same problem because Jeff's a pretty common name. In my
Mhm.
fourth grade class, there was 4 Lisas. Ugh,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Wow.
So
Hi,
anyway,
Maureen, and the Facebook user that I can't
I
see
think
your
it's
name.
Janelle.
Hello, hello, hello.
Janelle,
Uh,
I think Janelle said, "Love that shade of blue, Lisa." I think that's Janelle.
okay.
Yeah, this is she's trying a new darker blue that lasts longer. This actually lasted longer than the other time. And I found a new shampoo too that's cheaper and lasts longer because the shampoo deposits blue in. So that
Well,
was
that's cool.
important to find. I didn't know that at the beginning. How
Yeah, those
I haven't been a year yet of blue. You
close.
thought I was gonna do weeks, right? When we first were talking about it.
Well, that's what we're, yeah, but you adapted with new information that kept coming your way. So that's all right.
No, you know what it is? I don't think I adequately it's Patty, sorry. Patty Rubido was saying about the I don't think that I adequately explained that when I'm all in, I'm all in. So
Right.
Right. So you didn't know that at the beginning. So when you said, "Oh no, just have it blue for a little while and take a picture," you didn't realize that I was going to spend the rest of my life as a blue-haired lady because that's
Yeah, but I
probably
don't think you realized it because I remember you talking about that for 6 months, a year, whatever, and but it's you now. It is your
oh,
brand.
I love it. I love the blue hair, even though every time I have it done, it leaves everything in my house blue. My shower is blue, the pillowcases are all blue, and my fingers are usually blue. Yeah, everything's blue all the time, which is awesome.
It's
Ooh,
like
it's
it's
fun.
like the guy at the Gaylord who was crumpled in the corner of the elevator crying and he's covered in blue and he says, "I don't know, but it was blue."
He was sucking his thumb asking for his mama.
He was, wasn't he?
I came out smoking a cigarette. Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, I'm going to go play golf tomorrow. I don't know why smoking a cigarette reminded me of that. I don't smoke cigarettes. I will smoke an occasional cigar. I enjoy them,
Ooh,
but that's
yes.
once or twice a month at the most. But I'm going to play golf tomorrow. But we're playing too early. I can't go smoking a cigar because you know what time we're teeing off? We're teeing off at 8:15 in the morning just so we can get finished before the heat.
Wow. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, move north, young man. Move north.
I would love to have a house up north during this time of year and then be back down either in Florida or Texas or Tennessee or something like that.
Snowbird. You want to snowbird it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what we call them up here. Yeah. Somebody said now you can have a blue Christmas. Yes, I can. Well, I was blue. I was blue last Christmas.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yeah.
I'll have a blue Christmas without you. Thank you
Oh,
very
that's
much.
Elvis.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you.
No
Thank you
problem.
very much.
Oh, hey. So now we want to talk about before we get carried away.
Mhm.
We want to talk about creating a unique. What the hell? Ooh, a
Hey, we
unique.
only say hell in the green room.
Oh, hey Jeff, I hear you signed up to sell Avon. Will you be attending our Team Time Tuesday? Oh, you know what though? I know that's not going to be the reason you attend, but I do have a special request from my team if you will pop on an upcoming meeting
I'll be glad to.
and oh good. Okay, cuz we want to hear your take on stuff.
Yeah.
And I know you
Anytime you want to, you just let me know. We'll work it out. I'll be glad to.
awesome. You heard
I
it here,
forward,
gang.
I
You heard it
forwarded you
here.
an email today. Did you see it? I
No.
got an email from Avon talking about how, look, for those that don't know, I signed up for Avon before going to the Gaylord just to try to make sure that I would be allowed in places, okay? Just in case someone wasn't really wanting me there. And, and so I got signed up. Today I got an email from Avon telling me on the last campaign my sales were zero, but I was only $10,000 away from President's Club.
President's Club.
And so I forwarded it to Lisa and I said, apparently I suck at Avon.
Well, you know what it reminded me of? Not that you suck at Avon. It was I was training the team that we have a sales special on the back of the book last campaign that if you could buy it for $15. No, you could buy it for a special price if you spent 15 in the book. So what I do to every customer when they order is if they ordered $15, I say, "Oh, did you know you qualified for the special on the back?" But no matter what they ordered, I say, like if they ordered $2, I said, "Oh, did you know you're only $13 away from qualifying for the special on the back?" So I take the 15 minus how much they spent. Now, if they spend $1, I said, "Did you know you're only $14 away from the qualifying the special on the back?"
You
So
know what I really should do? Oh, first off, you need to find out any people that, like in my family and all, that if they're not already ordering from you, what I should do is get their Christmas stuff and do it
you
through that
should.
connection or whatever. And
You
I'll just,
should.
because my sister was using Avon stuff, I know. Even Lori was using Avon stuff. So
Yeah, you
I
should. And they have regular stuff too now because of our association with LG that owns North America, Avon North America.
mhm.
The thing that I like best, and everybody knows it that's on my team, is the laundry sheets. Because there's,
Really,
those jugs of laundry detergent. Now they have them in a sheet and
right.
it's lightweight. It's just like a dryer sheet, looks like it.
Hmm.
But you tear it in half and put it in your laundry and it cleans just as well. But you no more lugging the jug. You don't have to lug the jug. No more lugging the jugs. Sorry. No lugging the jugs. Here he goes. Green room, green room.
I will not be lugging the jugs.
You leave my jugs
Although
alone.
the older I get, the more they're not as firm as they used to
Yeah,
be.
you got your own jugs there, buddy.
You don't know.
You leave my jugs out of this. Yeah. Oh, do you know, I wish they would make those sheets scent free. Oh, they have 2 scents. One's fresh and one's lavender. They don't have scent free, but it's a matter of time, probably. Depends on how well they sell, probably. Oh, Peg's
Well,
going to call you Jeffrey Carl.
well, that would be my name, and that would be my name, especially if I'm in trouble, Peg. So, Peg, if you're going to call me Jeffrey Carl, I'm going to hide from you.
Well, you try to lug my jugs, we'll be calling you Jeffrey Carl.
Who said what?
If you try to lug my jugs, we'll be calling you Jeffrey.
I'll not be trying to do that.
Oh, man.
Hi, Peg.
Oh, so yeah, Peg actually signed up to sell Avon too.
Ooh, good
So
deal.
yeah, so she actually did it. She was signed up and got a ticket for the convention.
Mm-hmm.
So she got the swag bag, which was awesome.
Cool.
That was worth more than we paid for the convention. What were you
I was
looking
sitting
at?
here thinking, since I had signed up for Avon, but I didn't sign up for convention, so I couldn't get a swag bag. So,
Oh, I should have
nothing.
told you to do that.
Uh,
Well, no, they were already not having them by the time we did that.
okay.
I say we, by the time you did that, they already had run out of swag bags, I think.
I'll
They
go ring the doorbell, say, "Ding dong, Avon calling," just see what happens. That used to be the old commercial. They'd have the Avon lady ringing the doorbell, Avon calling. So I
You know,
go, Avon calling.
that's
If Easter Day can do it, I can do it.
oh, that's what I like about the branding thing about Avon is everyone knows it. I've only run across, I think, 2 people in 40 years that didn't know what it was. Usually little kids know it, guys know it, everybody knows what it is, at least. They know something. But let's talk about the customer experience thing, because I have something I wanted to give them to. What I wanted to show you a couple things of is one of the main things about my particular having a unique customer experience that my customers love from me involves using send out cards. So the experience of dealing with me, I want it to be, I mean, let's face it, Avon is a commodity.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy face cream, shampoo. I'm sure our stuff is awesome, but you can buy something similar at Rite Aid or CVS and get it right away. You can just go down there and get it. So there's got to be some reason that you're getting it from me. So it's got to be a good experience. And little things like I always handwrite. I actually handwrite my tickets. I write thank you in red marker on them like it's lipstick. I tape a little Tootsie Roll midget on everyone. And we were just talking about this on Tuesday. I try to do this often is walk myself through a customer interaction with me so that I see all the points. So now I have some customers that pick up here at the house, and for whatever reason, they want to do it when they want to do it. So I have a pickup shed.
Mm-hmm.
And I make sure I go out there after the guy mows because my shed isn't airtight. And sometimes it blows grass under the door. And I don't want a customer opening the pickup shed and it being a mess in there.
Right.
So I try to think of those things ahead and think about what the bag looks like and how I staple a bag and how I write on the bag. And I try to think of all that often and go through the steps because they can just go down to Rite Aid. And I have to keep realizing that. And it's not just Avon. Anything that you sell, chances are you can get it some other way, including Amazon or whatever. So you've got to make it a unique experience for the customer. And one of the ways is cards. I wanted to show you a couple that were, and this is actually not an Avon example, but I love this. This is Watkins. Have you heard of them, Watkins? It's an older company, just like Avon. I think they were 1868, so they're older than Avon even. But they sell like spices and mixes and stuff like that. So
is it a direct sales company too?
Yeah, yeah. I have a friend, Brenda, that's in this, Brenda Rulo. Now, what she did was she made a pie using stuff that she sells in Watkins. And then she took a picture of it and put it baking with Brenda. And she sends this to her customers. And
That's
in
great.
here, she's got the recipe for the pie. But what's cool is in the recipe, it just doesn't say 1.5 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. It says 1.5 teaspoons of Watkins ground cinnamon. So she
Hmm.
includes her products in the recipe. And then
Right.
down here is the instructions for the recipe. And then down here is a word search using the recipe words. So they get some value. They get a recipe, they get the pictures, and a word search.
Yeah.
See, I think
People
that's
like things
really
like that.
important. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's given good value for it. And I think that's so smart of her to do stuff where the customer is getting something and she's kind of selling them something, but not a blatant selling them something. She's
Sure.
giving them value.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The better you get at doing things that go above and beyond the actual transaction of a sales process, makes you stand out so much. And sometimes it's things like that that you do. Sometimes it's just taking care of the customer better, like what you were talking about with the shed and all that. It's those kind of things that elevates people in any type of sales business from just the average person who may or may not still hang around to elevating them to a higher status in the customer's eyes. And the customers will even if your product's not the least expensive, they don't care. If they're getting an experience they like, they'll do business with you.
And the pickup shed actually was a customer's idea. So um, she said, and this was during COVID, she said, I want to get my Avon, but I don't necessarily want to risk being close contact with you. I said, well, why don't we have, she says, is there anywhere you can hide it on your property? And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Yeah, we can do that. So I try to listen to what the customers say so I can,
Right.
accommodate whatever, because that was a no problem for me anyway. It's just that I have to make sure that the path is mowed, the setup is nice, that the shed doesn't look bad, because I think that's important. I wouldn't want to send her to a dilapidated shed that was full of grass or whatever. You know what
Well,
I mean?
my whole family, apparently, generations even behind me, were very good at that same process. We had pickup sheds in my family for years. Of course, it was moonshine related, but okay, never mind.
Moonshine related. So here's another example from Scott Easterday. He's also an Avon representative. And what he did is when he saw the products that are coming out, this was last year, he made a card so his customers could have a sneak peek. So this says coming soon, and this was coming last year. And then we had like this headset that was coming out, well, this one,
Mhm.
and some products. So I thought that was really smart of him to do. I did something similar for the convention. I had pictures from the convention. Now, for those of you who haven't been to the convention, I didn't go to the product display room. I never went to it when I was down there in DC. All I did was go to Facebook and take other people's pictures because I
Right,
didn't go to the convention to look at the products. I went to the convention to talk to the people.
right.
So I never went in there. So don't think just because you didn't go to the convention that you can't use those pictures and show your customers. Just one other one here is when my mother decided to retire, I used sent out cards to make the announcement. And to me, it's always we've built a relationship with the customers
Hmm.
because people buy when all things being equal, you're gonna you see this coming. All things being equal, people buy from people they know, like, and trust.
Right.
So we have a relationship with the customers. So my mother's customers knew I sold Avon and all that. And I just said, your Avon lady, Miss Virginia, because that's what we called her, is passing the torch. And it had a picture of my mom up here and then some products. And
Hmm.
then I put at age 82, after over 22 years with Avon, Miss Virginia is retiring, and a bunch of pictures from her career,
That's great.
and then a thing from me saying I'd be happy to still wait on them. And it was a smooth transition between her waiting on them and me waiting on them because of something like this.
Right.
I
Hey,
think that
did
makes sense. And this was easy to make too.
yeah. Hey, did Scott do his, and did your friend who sells for Watkins Spices, did she do hers through send out cards as well?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
and matter of fact, I've got something for those of you who haven't tried it yet. They have some new promotion right now, and it's called the 10 card challenge. Now, what they're saying is heartfelt card. An individual, what a heartfelt card means is it's to one person at a time, and it's an individually made card, so it's not a card you're going to send to everybody. And the ones I think of most when I think, and it's a send immediate, are the ones like you've gotten from me, only heartfelt cards. And they're like Facebook espionage, where I see a
Right.
really cute picture of your grandkid and put it on the front of the card and send it. That's a Facebook espionage, also considered a heartfelt card.
Yeah.
So what they're saying is 10 card challenge is 10 cards over 20 days for $20. And that includes the card and the postage.
That's a really good deal. Plus, it does a great job.
Yeah. So if you haven't, I think even if you have tried send out cards, they'll let you do this. But I got a personalized URL for you guys, so it'd be easy to send you that way. And it's, you like this one already. I told you what it was. Bluehairedcardsender.com. Bluehairedcardsender.com. So, Peg, could you put that in the chat? Because I can't type it in on StreamYard. It's bluehairedcardsender.com, if you don't mind. I'll also put it in the group. But that's 10 cards over 20 days for $20, including the postage. And you can
That's an
see how
incredible gift.
yeah, and if you've gotten cards from me, don't think they have to be. I get crazy with making them and all that stuff, but they actually have hundreds and hundreds of stock cards, so you can just grab any card and personalize it and send it. You don't have to make them like I do.
But if someone wants to take the time, boy, that personal touch sure adds a lot to it adds a lot on the receiver end for sure. Hey, I'm also getting your group cards now because I signed up for Avon. So
Oh,
if
oh
you need
yeah.
to,
Oh, and
you
I
want to
didn't.
save $1 or 2 here and there.
Well, there's lots of other uses besides the heartfelt
Right,
cards, of course.
right,
And one of them is when someone signs up in my first, bluehairedcardsender.com. Thank you. That is it. Peg just put it in the chat. Um, you can send, they call it a campaign. So I have a
right,
campaign set up of 3 cards. So you got one this week, you're going to get one next week and one the week after. And all I have to do is go in and say, send this card series to this person. And
right.
it does it. And I like it because it's a touch. And when you have a brand new salesperson, you have people all over the country. I need them to feel like I'm paying attention to them every
Right.
few days.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's
it.
hard to do that when you have a lot of new people.
Yeah. It's a smart system. You know, when I was still in the field with Aflac servicing accounts, once I got to the regional sales coordinator level and higher, I wasn't in the day to day taking care of accounts anymore. But before that, for 10 years, I guess it was, yeah, no, 8 years, I was in the field taking care of my own accounts, doing all of that. One of the things that I always did as part of the customer experience with me was if one of Aflac's biggest policies was a cancer policy. Paid money above and beyond whatever the health insurance paid it to the policyholder's hands. It was extra money. And sometimes I'd be taking people 30, 40, $50,000 worth of money. But what I would do in every case, if somebody had cancer, they'd call, because every time I did any meetings with employees, I said, look, if you have a claim, you could always call Aflac, but don't call me. Let me help you with it. And so when they would call me, I would go to their home. I would work the claim in person. Here, somebody's going through a terribly scary thing in their life. I would go to their home. I'd be there with them. We'd visit for a while. I would help them with their claim. I would bring them their check. And it was huge because the loyalty that it built, because I really cared about these people. And so I went to help them. It was huge. Aflac doesn't let people do that anymore. I think that's a mistake as far as the business side of it, but I understand. I mean, you're dealing with a lot of confidential issues, and when they've got 17,000 agents nationwide, somebody's not going to do it right, and somebody's going to get bit over it. I
Right,
get that,
right.
but I did it right. I took care of my customers, and it didn't matter. But the other thing I did too is every year when we would have open enrollment, that would be the time of year that people could make changes, sign up for new programs, whatever. I would send out things ahead of time, and I would send it out to everybody in the account, even though not everybody had all the policies. I would send out a little letter reminding them that open enrollment was coming up. And I said, by the way, many of you have the Aflac cancer policy and the Aflac accident policy. And on those two policies, you get wellness benefits back. So if you've already had your physical for the year or a cancer examination, please make sure you come see me because I'm going to be filling out some paperwork to get you $135 back from Aflac.
Ooh,
It's more than that now, but back then it's
that was the
135.
way everybody'd call you, right?
Oh, they would come. The people come into with a letter in their hand saying, "Which policy do I need to get this $135?" You know, if it was in the fall, I said, well, "You can start your Christmas shopping." You know, that kind of thing. But it was partly there was a sales mindset behind it, but I wasn't trying to sell anything in it necessarily. I was trying to let them know, "Come in, and I'll help you with your claim."
Well, you're adding value.
Exactly. Exactly.
Absolutely. Peg said, "Who loves you, baby?" Thank you, Peg. She's always got my back, putting the URL up there. Also, let's see. Janelle says next week on the Zoom training. So just in case you decide to use send out cards, every Thursday at 1 Eastern, I do a Zoom training where you can come on there and ask me how to do stuff, and I can show you right there so I can share screen. And she said, "Can you show us how to create a campaign card?" Absolutely. Yep, absolutely, because I use those a lot. So
Very
that
cool.
absolutely. But
Hey,
yes.
go ahead. No, finish your
Sorry.
thought.
One of the things I do, and direct sellers, this is probably more pertinent to us than it would be to insurance, but every time someone makes a purchase from me, I send them a thank you card. And I don't post it on social media, I don't text them. I send them an actual card. And
Right.
there are subscriptions and send out cards. So like the 97 Unlimited, you can send, I think it's 25 heartfelt cards a day, and it's included. It's included.
That's an
So
incredible deal.
I know, and it's perfect for that because I send a lot of cards, and it's funny because the amount of loyalty it makes just sending a card, you'd be surprised. I have a customer, Carolyn, and she's so funny. She calls me her order. She doesn't do online, so I do it for her. And she said to me, "Oh, Lisa, you don't have to send me a thank you card every time." And I said, "Oh, Carolyn, I'm so sorry, but it's a rule. I I have to." And
The
she
thank you
said,
rule.
she said, "I knew you were gonna say that." She said, "But I want you to know that I would never buy from anyone else ever." And we go through this little every time I talk to her, she's like, "You don't have to send the card." And I'm like, "Oh, yes, I do." But
Cool.
it's funny, and she has referred more customers to me than anyone else, any other customer.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because of the card and the fact that I take her order and do what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
She's just very good. And you know what else it helps with is when she asks me a question, if I don't know, I say, "I don't know, let me look it up and call you back." Or
Right.
I give her a recommendation. I just am honest with her and honest with
Right.
all my customers.
I can't remember if it was a post that Bob Berg did, or maybe in his email, or maybe it's something you put on there, but about learning that it was okay if you didn't know the answer to say,
Yeah,
"I
he
don't
said
know that
that.
answer."
Yeah.
And you know, it's exactly right. Well, it's common sense to me and to you, but it's not necessarily common sense, I guess, to everybody. Because I've seen
Oh,
salespeople
yeah.
I would be trying to train, and they would try to BS their way through something, and
Yeah.
and I would literally at times if it got to the point where it was wrong enough that I needed to interrupt, I would say, "Wait just a second. It's slightly different than that. Let me help you here," and then I would fix it because you can't have people do that. Speaking of rules, though, I have to ask you a question. What are the rules if someone wants to make sure that they become a member of the True Blue Book Crew?
Oh, I'll put the graphic up again. I'm glad that you asked, though. We have 3 current.
Did that sound spontaneous or
Not
what?
that this right, not that this was planned in any way, right? The True Blue Book Crew, we have 3 official members. We have Peg Duchesne, we have Teresa Staples, and we have Janelle Bixler. And Janelle was actually the very first qualifier. So
Absolutely.
thank you. And I know I have at least a dozen working on it because they've asked me for their frame for Facebook. So I know I have people working on it. But I am going to be telling you some of the things that you get because so far we've just been what you have to do. We haven't been talking about what you get. And one of the things you're going to get is an official certificate with a seal and a ribbon that you are a member of the True Blue Book Crew. You're also going to get, this is the one that's the big announcement for tonight. The three of you can set up appointments with me. You get 30 minutes of coaching with me as part of being, that's one of the perks. So the True Blue Book Crew, you get 30 minutes coaching with me, personal, private, just you and me on a Zoom. So set that up with me so we can get going and help you work on your goals together. Ooh, Peg says True Blue.
What are the other things? Because we've talked about some other things. I don't know if you want to announce any of them yet or not.
Well, which one in particular were you thinking? They're going to be able to order the second book pre-order earlier than everybody else.
Right.
Oh, and a page in book 2 of the super support.
Yeah, we definitely, that's a great idea. So
Yeah.
we'll put everybody, we'll put the True Blue Book Crew's name in the next book and the sequel. Your name will be in there in perpetuity. That's right.
In perpetuity.
It will be in perpetuity.
Perpetuity.
It'll be in there a long time. How's that?
It'll be in there a long time.
Long time.
And she was correct in my writing when I was writing a card this afternoon. She probably can tell us. Oh, so a badge for your social media. I've got a bunch of stuff on here that are going to be awesome for you to get. Monthly cards from Lisa and Alex. So there's going to be some good things on here, but we're going to start off with the coaching call.
Right. And I'm going to go ahead and spill the beans on one of them that we've talked about because I think it's a great one too.
Ooh.
Those people who are qualify to be in the True Blue Book Crew, once a month is what we're thinking. We're going to have, after we finish the show on Thursday night, we're going to have a green room Zoom so that those people on the book crew can get on the Zoom with us, and we'll just cut up, and it'll be similar, maybe less intense, but similar to what we do in the green room. So.
Less intense. You're intense. Oh yeah, that'll
Lisa
be awesome.
Always tries to embarrass me, and I have such a, I'm so naive.
Except today. Oh yeah, you're so naive. Yeah. Did I cross my eyes on that one? Yeah, today you embarrassed me. That's what we do.
There's a first time for everything.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So anyway, that's awesome. So make sure look for the graphic again. Actually, I think that's pinned in the group. What you need to do to qualify. There's 8 things you need to do to qualify, and if you've already done them, that does count.
Right.
On the graphic, it said some things had to be July and August. Well, I got to change the graphic because it just goes to August and September. And then tomorrow it'll be, or the day after, September and October. So
Right.
we'll just keep rolling that. But yeah, you're going to get some good benefits. And the 3 of you that are already qualified, make sure you contact me and we set up your 30 minutes because I'd love to help you work on your goals with you. And everybody about the Send Out Cards Challenge, especially if you haven't tried Send Out Cards that you've always wanted to, go to bluehairedcardcenter.com. There's more information there. So you don't have to have already decided to go there. You can go there. There's a little video and stuff that tells you about it. But it can make, just think if you just sent the 10 cards, thank you cards. If you sent 10 thank you cards to 10 of your customers, it would help your business more than $20 worth.
Absolutely.
It's shocking how much that helps, I think.
Yeah, and you can't send 10 cards for $20.
No.
Can't. It's impossible. No. You go to the store and buy 10 cards and then mail them and all that.
This includes the postage. Postage is like 64 or something, right? 63.
I don't know.
So that would be the card. Yeah.
The only thing I actually mail is when I'm mailing books off to people and all of that. So I do that in media mail. So I don't do stamps. So I don't know.
You lie. You sent me a card before.
Okay,
a Winnie the Pooh card for my birthday.
Okay. I rarely do it then. Let's just leave it at that. But actually, as I start, because I'm about to add a little bit more speaking back into my business model. So as I start that, I'm probably going to sign up under you to do some of that. Because I don't know how many I'll need yet, but it's not going to be like I'm trying to build a huge following with that. But I do want them to become huge book followers. So.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of that,
the new book.
the new book,
Love the new book.
Streetwise to Saleswise, is going to be out this year, I'm sure.
Oh, say this
Like
title again, because I didn't know. People were asking me, and I didn't know what the title officially.
Streetwise to Saleswise.
Streetwise to Saleswise. I did not know that.
Yeah,
Streetwise to Saleswise.
yeah.
That's awesome.
It's the hints are starting to get out there. My co-author and I are going to be working on the. I've actually already scripted the audio book. The physical book is in the hands of the editor. People are working on the cover for me. It's if you're in the True Blue book crew, you're going to get a special access behind the scenes pass when my co-author and I are ready to reveal everything on this. But it's starting to sneak out a little bit anyway. There was something happened today on LinkedIn, and I just kind of grinned and didn't worry about it. But anyway.
Janelle wants to know if it's going to be available on Kindle, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, it'll be on when we release it. It'll be on Kindle, hardback, hopefully, paperback, definitely, and audiobook.
Awesome.
So, and my goal is to try to get it out by November-ish, but we'll see, because that's going to be a hard deadline. It's like with you and I with the audiobook just takes a while. But I've scripted it. I'm going to wait till I get the hard manuscript back from the editor, because that would also affect the audiobook if there's some changes. But
and
I'm pretty excited about it.
His new co-author, not that he's dumping me, but his next co-author is famous.
He's kind of famous, yeah.
He's kind of famous.
And so is the one I've already agreed to do the next one. He's kind of famous too. So.
Oh,
hang on here. I'm gonna give people the tagline here. I'm pulling it up real quick. Hold on here. This is the tagline or the log line of the new book. Streetwise to Saleswise. It's set in New Orleans. The music and the food and the atmosphere of New Orleans, I worked that in throughout. I love the story so much. I love all of my stories. I love all of the books I've ever been involved in. But here's the tagline or the log line. An immature young man from the streets of New Orleans wisecracks his way out of a job and into sales, a career for which he is completely unprepared. It's going to be good. I'm proud of it.
It is good. It is good. Because I was a pre-reader. I love it. I love it. You guys are all going to want it. There's just no doubt in my mind.
I fell in love with Kai and with Belle, and I was rooting for Dalton and there. But
book two.
Yeah, we'll see if that goes into book 2. But this one is completely different, and it's
poor Dalton. You can't leave Dalton out of book 2. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking about getting Belle happy on book 2. This is working for me. It's a great title for it.
This is working for me. You knew you wanted to hear me say that.
It is my favorite thing you say on any interview you've been on, when you're telling the story how this all got started, and you say that. It's like if I know it's happening, if I'm there live, I get giggly before it starts. Right? I do. No, I'm going, here it comes. She's going to say it. This is working for me.
I do have a interview I was supposed to do today that's going to be shortly out, so you'll hear me tell the story in that, I'm sure. So anyway, we ought to go. It's already 38, but thank you very much, everybody. We certainly appreciate you. Don't forget to go to bluehairedcardsetter.com and get in on that challenge. And
don't forget to post your Amazon reviews if you have not already done so. And we will see you next Thursday.
Thank you, everybody. Love you.
Bye, guys. Love you guys.